Good morning, y'all. It's Jess here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another small garden tour. This is not going to be a full garden tour just because I have a lot going on, you guys, but I did want to do just a quick walkthrough around my garden to show you all of the limelights that I have on my property and what they're doing. So starting off, this is my little limelight. This is the only little lime that I have on my property. This one I just moved here this spring. It used to sit on the end of my Limelight Hydrangea hedge around the corner, which I'll show you in just a few seconds. But I decided to move it here just because I did have a limelight here and I felt like the limelight was just taking over the bed. It was getting too big and it was just gaudy, and yeah, I think the little lime fits this space so much better. As you can see, it's in full bloom right now, and it is also pushing out new buds. So this is what the buds look like when they first emerge. They come out this beautiful chartreusey green color, and then they age to this pretty white, and then in the fall they age even further to this deep mauvey pink color. It's really pretty. Actually, all of the limelights perform that way. The Bobos, which are the smallest bush, the little limes, and then the limelights all perform in that manner. So this is my little limelight. Over here we have one of my Limelight Hydrangea trees. This is on standard form. I picked this one up from my local Home Depot earlier this spring and just planted it in the ground with this ring here. Y'all, this tree I think is so gorgeous, and it has taken a little bit of a hit just because it has been thunderstorming and monsooning here literally every single day for a week. And I'm so impressed with how this tree keeps bouncing back. It is leaning a little bit just because this is the direction that the wind blows. But what really all I do is I come out right after the rain and shake off all of the water from the blooms to help the stems from being so weighed down. But yeah, loving this tree. This is one of 4 that I have on my property here. So over here on the east side of my house, this is another Limelight Hydrangea tree on standard form. I picked this one up from a local garden center, and you guys, when I brought it home, I had to break a few limbs just to get it to fit in the car, which it'll be okay. Next year I'll give it just a harsh prune back. It'll full out and it'll be fine. It has taken, I think, the worst of the storms. As you can see, this one is leaning this way as well. And this is what happens when you don't shake off all the water and you just let them dry. They stay bent the rest of the season in this shape. So that's why I try to come out as early as I can, right after the rain, shake off the blooms to help them perk back up. But I still think it's gorgeous, you guys. It's still blooming, it's still healthy, it's still doing well. So yeah, excited for this tree. Okay, and then swinging around this way, this is my backyard here. I have 2 limelights planted in this bed. This one right here is the one that actually used to sit in my front garden bed that I switched and replaced with my little lime. As you can see, you guys, this one is substantially bigger. I think the little lime suits that front bed so much better. So yeah, this is a limelight, and y'all, I just love looking at these blooms every single morning when I wake up. This is my bedroom window right behind here, so this is the first thing I see when I wake up every morning. It just makes me happy. Actually, I see both of these. So this is another limelight tree on standard. I planted this one earlier this spring on Arbor Day. I'll link that video up in the cards for you guys to check out. But y'all, I just love seeing both of these blooms every morning. Just makes me so happy. This one has taken quite a bit of damage from all of the rainstorms we've been getting. It's kind of misshapen, but this is what happens to limelights, you guys. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this video. I wanted to show you the difference between not staking limelights and staking limelights. So this one does have some of the supports. It just has 2 rings, one down here and one here, and it is holding this bush up so well. So I think I will be repeating this again next year. I will be upsizing to bigger stakes, which I'll explain a little bit more when we get to my actual hedge. But yeah, if you have not seen my how to stake limelight video, I will link that up in the cards for you to check out as well. But I'm super impressed with how they've been working. I still haven't really come up with a solution yet on how to stake my trees. I'll have to think a little bit more on that, but loving how this bed has developed. Again, you guys, I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing a full tour or not, just because I still have a lot of work happening. But This one right here is a Bobo hydrangea. This is the smallest variety of the Limelight series, I guess you can say. So you have the smallest one, which is Bobo, then you have the little lime, and then you have the Limelights. So this one actually used to sit in my front driveway bed. If you all remember from my tour video last year, this only had 3 stems with 3 blooms. And look how well it's come back. It's doing so well. It's loving this spot, and I think it looks great in this area, and it contrasts so well with the dark foliage of my weigelas. I have no blooms on my weigelas this year, just because I pruned these down back to the ground when I planted these, you guys. But I think they'll come back gorgeous next year. And I know I just said this wasn't going to be a full garden tour, but you guys, just had to show you guys a few treats. This is such a gorgeous bloom. I've been so happy with these plants that I received from Costa Farms. This is the Mandevilla and the white blooming hibiscus that they sent me. It's looking so gorgeous. It's been doing so well all season long. And then also this planter here. These are the hibiscus that Costa Farms sent me, and literally I get new blooms almost every single day. Anyways, back to the Limelights. I got a little distracted there. We're not doing a full tour. This right here is my 4th and last Limelight tree that I have on standard on my property. This one I also planted this spring on my Arbor Day video. And this one, y'all, it doesn't have as many blooms because this one I pruned the hardest. This one actually was in the worst state when I got it. It had a lot of crossing branches, a lot of weak stems. And yeah, I just gave it the hardest pruning. So I have a few blooms. I'm happy with the blooms that have emerged. And this one I just kind of like propped up because it was flopped really bad from the storm. But it's okay, you guys. I think it'll look great when it comes back next year. P.S. Comment down below if you notice anything different. If you all remember, I had a hideous wooden railing around my patio. The railing is gone, you guys. It's actually been gone for like 2 months now, but I know I haven't been showing you guys. But anyway, I had plans to replace the railing. I just decided to remove it completely just because I felt like having railing and then also having fencing. As you can see, my neighbor has started to install their fence. Well, actually, they've completed it. I just felt like having fencing and railing was going to close in everything too much. My yard is already quite small. So I just felt like this opens it up so much more, and I'm so happy with how it looks. All right, and then last but not least, we have the star of this video here. This is my glorious Limelight Hydrangea hedge, and y'all, my neighbor's air conditioning just cut on, so I hope y'all can hear me okay. But y'all, I am so pleased with how this looks, you guys. It is in full bloom now. And I just think this bed looks so pretty. Like, I'm so happy with how this has turned out. It's been about 3 weeks now since I finished the formal edging on this bed, and it's just looking so full and lush. Oh my God, I'm just so happy. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about the stakes here. So the supports that I used are just these 2 ring, kind of like ring combination here. There's an upper ring and a lower ring, and the rings just sit in these little loops on these stakes. You can see that loop here. It's just sitting on the stake. And I think these are actually intended for vegetable gardening. I just picked these up from my local Lowe's and Home Depot. But y'all, sometimes you just have to get creative and improvise in the garden. So I think that these are serving its purpose amazing. Like, look how upright and sturdy these look. They're doing so well. And there are some limbs that don't fit into the support. So I think next year I'm just going to upsize the rings to accommodate for my older Limelights. But y'all, I'm just so happy with how they're working. Like, look how upright these are. This is why I prune the way that I do. If you all have not seen my pruning video, I will link that as well. But it promotes these strong, like, look how strong and sturdy these stems are. So upright. So I think the combination of my pruning job, the stake supports, and me actually coming out after every rain and shaking the blooms are just keeping these hydrangeas looking pristine. These 2 right here are my replacement Limelights. I planted these last year, so they've been in the ground 1 full season now. And they haven't quite caught up with the other limelights, but I think next year, once I just prune, I'm gonna hard prune everything like I do every year down to the same size, and hopefully they'll catch up. Still have my endless summer here, you guys. I decided just to leave it for now because it's doing so well in this space. So it's still here for now. I do have a little bit more flopping down on this end just because all of these limbs that you're seeing laying down are not in the support. So this is why I wanted to really show you guys is the difference between the part of the limelight that's actually staked and not staking. This is what happens when it rains. I did shake these blooms off as well, but still when they dry, they still just stay kind of droopy, and they stay like this for the rest of the season. And it stresses me out, you guys. I don't know why, but just seeing all of this laying on the ground really stresses me out. So next year I will be getting some larger supports for these more mature limelights. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to really show you guys, is how the supports were working. I promised you guys I would come back and do an update, so here you go. Thank you again for joining me on this small Limelight Hydrangea tour. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more, and as always, thank you so much for watching and engaging in my content. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in my next video. Peace.